agriculture continues to be the #1 industry in the state of Wisconsin.
But as many people have a hard time finding jobs, the ag industry is having a tough time finding workers. News 8's Pauline Lee is live in the studio with more.
Mark and Lisa, farmers today produce as much goods in 2 weeks than they did in a year back in the 1960s. Byron Kruger has been a farmer all of his life. He owns more than 600 acres of farmland and rents out another 600. With all of that land to maintain, he's got his work cut out for him. For Byron Kruger, there's never a dull moment running a farm.
Busy. We get going by 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, somewhere in there, and then never in before 6, 7 at night, I don't think.
So it's no surprise that he could use a bit of extra help, but that's a lot harder than it sounds.
We'd like it so we could get a little more time off. This is the problem. We've hired quite a few of them. They don't stick around.
It's a trend Kruger says has really taken off in the past few years. With the rise of technology and urban jobs, farming becomes one of the less attractive options.
They look back at how their grandpa and grandma farmed and different things. They don't look at it as a big business like it is today.
Dairy accounts for 80% of the total income here at Hidden Valley Farm. And while it makes the most money, it's no surprise that it also requires the most man hours.
Got to have at least 5 at the dairy running all the time to keep the dairy running down there.
Kruger's not the only farmer with this problem, and that's got Congressman Kind worried about all local farmers.
Agriculture is the #1 industry in the state of Wisconsin, employing more people directly or indirectly than any other business that we have. And yet many of our family farmers, trying to keep their operations profitable and functioning, are having a hard time finding the labor that they need to help with the work that has to get done.
Kind says many changes need to happen, but one major one is getting younger generations exposed and excited about farming as a potential and profitable way of life.
And without those programs to introduce the students to that way of life and that potential occupation, they're going to be looking elsewhere for employment opportunities, and that too can jeopardize the agricultural industry of the state of Wisconsin.
But for this farmer, although education is a factor, it's the motivation he cares about more.
They're not hungry. You have to grow up with it or really have the want to work, to put in the hours and take care of things. You can't let things slide on a farm because you go down the tubes pretty fast.
Now, besides having the motivation and skills to work, Kruger says getting the local workers excited about farming is also a challenge. He says there are jobs out there if people are willing to work hard and get their hands dirty.
All right, thank you, Pauline. Congressman Kind is sponsoring an Ag's job bill that helps fund seasonal workers with visas.